Hey everyone, welcome to another Deathshadez World of Warcraft video. This video is going to talk about my Mythic Plus experience this season and last season, and what I hope to accomplish this season. And I'm trying to form a fucking team so I can get higher fucking scores. Because pugging with fucking noobs makes me want to slash wrists in real life. But I don't do that shit anymore. I mean, ever. Alright, so let's get started here. So the difference between this season and last season, the scores are kind of similar, 24 or whatever, who cares, is that this season, survival was a lot more difficult than last season. The key difference is about one eye level. Did I say one eye level? What the fuck? One Mythic Plus key level. And, yeah, the scaling basically made it, this is an estimate, that like a 19 key is like a 22 key last season. So with the Crucible and extra gear and artifact traits and all that shit, we do about the same damage. We can clear a 19 key the same way we can clear a 19 key last season with raw damage. But because we only have a few 100k more HP from all this new shit, we still have Tomb Gear, no Argus shit to 7.35. We're going to die a lot. There's going to be a lot more deaths, which means your fucking best results are going to be lower than 7.25. And the only reason why your overall scores can be higher is because there's a seat key this season and not last season. That's the only reason why it's higher now, right? On Raider.io, because they reward you for clearing high keys, I'm actually 100 higher last season compared to this season, score-wise. But, this is just, literally 5 days of actually pushing keys. I was just farming 15 and unders for gear. Also for artifact power. Look at this fucking artifact traits right here. Boom. 73. Yeah. I farm a lot of shit. So this was all 5 days of farming, between October 4th and October 9th. So the only keys I upgraded this week was a calf and a seat, although this is still a shitty seat. It's just slightly less shitty than the one earlier with the terrible shitty score. Holy shit, no one wants to ever do seat. I got 3 seats. This was a practice seat, and these were wipe seats. So, yeah, probably should do more. Whatever. So the main thing is survival, right? The good thing about warlocks now is they do rely on Sifus. It's kind of good and bad. I don't like Sifus. I can lower Kara because you can't proc it all the time, because nothing can be feared. Well, not nothing, but almost nothing. But Sifus is good because it gives you that haste buff to get a bunch of seeded corruptions, and crit has more value because with the fucking, what do you call that? The Crucible shit, you can target Perdition gems, get them all in there, as your third trait or your first trait. And it's just buffed overall, So now it's just seeded corruptioning, and I think that's important because last season I didn't get invited down to 22 keys, even though I've cleared 21s. Simply because they wanted a more, well, first of all, 22 keys are hard as fuck. And they wanted a group composition that can kill danger pools, especially if you get like HOV or DHT. There's a lot of dangerous pools, right? And you really need to just do burst. So because warlocks are more stable, didn't really rely on Sifus just by the nature of how the specs worked. Relied more on rotting shit with the execute ring. Yeah. And 15 stack agonies. So you would make up time with a warlock on what we call the easier pools, because you just have consistent stable damage, but you would die because you wouldn't kill the dangerous pools as fast. So that was a problem there. These times are pretty consistent. This upper should be higher. I never really got an upper key that last week. And of course, Cathedral, that was the old version of seat. No one wanted to do that shit. Now it's been nerfed, so it's not so bad. But yeah, still gotta get this seat up. That is fucking awful. Okay, people just keep dying, and that's just how it goes. Seat's a bitch. But anyway, so these are kind of how the scores are. Just 19s and 20s this season. 318s. Just gotta raise up there. Haven't even attempted anything above an 18, just because there's no keys available. This is basically how life is, for me in Mythic Plus this season. I go into LFD. I type 19. Oh shit, no keys. Okay, I'll type 18. Oh shit, no keys. I'll just AFK and jerk off for a little bit. Alright, 30 minutes later, let's try again. LFD 19. Nope. LFD 18. Oh, we finally got a key. Okay. All these people's gear looks kind of shitty, but whatever. We'll just maybe, they're okay. Whatever. Okay. Oh, look, we one-chested. Now it's LFD 19 time. Or not LFD, sorry. Just doing a 19 key. Oh god, everyone's dying now because 19 is the difficulty where everyone just gets wrecked. We failed the key. Well, that was a big waste of like an hour and a half, back to the same score I had before. In conclusion, you can only get so far pugging. I think this is one of the higher scores in pugging. I'm sure other people are ahead of me pugging, but for the most part, and most of these people that are above me have their set teams. Maybe not for all their keys, but for a good portion. It just helps with the organization. So that's why I'm trying to get the keys down. Because I was just pugging last season too. Just did it a little bit more because, season's 11 weeks and this is only like halfway over now. So really just trying to not make the same mistake and scramble last week to get the score up. Luckily, I scrambled and did okay. But, it's really stressful. It's good to just get the keys in and then eventually upgrade a couple at the end. So as far as groups go, I do have specific compositions. I do want to have. I would prefer Blood Decay and H Pally. Blood Decay's just got that AoE grip. They got good leech. They got all that weird shit. They got AMS. Whatever. They're good. They can enslave fucking shit and make them their pet to do a lot of damage, like on BRH. That's kind of cool. And Rogue. Rogue is like a must. You can shroud past shit. But the main thing is now with the seed spamming oriented build, you're trying to keep your agonies up, refresh them to get to 15, on the fortified weeks. Maybe you go Malefic Grasp on Tyrannical, but I don't really push Tyrannical as much. Just because fortified's easier for most dungeons. I will with searching keys, but whatever. Anyway, the point is mostly doing fortified. The mobs, there's going to be dangerous mobs with high HP, and the rogues just shriek and storm, get their 5 fucking combo points, and then shove their fucking dick into the fucking boss, or not boss, but the mob that needs to die. And yeah, they do that, with their little DFA flying bullshit and whatever, and everything's good. Warriors have more just, I do a lot of AoE, right? So they're good too, and I would want them as a second melee if I were to choose. Do a double melee comp. But search and dungeons are kind of anti-melee, so I prefer the 2 ranged. But it really depends. Solid warrior, solid rogue, fine. Let's double melee the fuck out of this. There's more interrupts, more cute shit like that, which is more risk of melee death, I guess. Rogues have cloak and cheat death, so they have more survival. They also have feint. Warriors have their little parry shit and commanding shot, I guess. I guess they have D-stands too. That lowers their damage if they're doing that. While rogues just have to use 30-something energy to feint. I do like the shockwave stun. I guess that's good. That's one advantage the warrior has over the rogue. But that whole just building on comp points and shoving into one mob while not losing AoE damage is pretty nice. As far as range, mage, hunter, boomcan, one of those, it's all good. Hunters can, if they have a good BM and mark spec, can switch based on if the target's more, the dungeon's more single target or AoE oriented. Even a second rogue is fine, but it could be DRs on, their stuns, And I think an AoE stun or pushback would be good And since rogues don't have that, class that does have that, it's good. Mages don't really have that, but they're just pretty solid in general. So it's okay. And they have immunities. All these classes have immunities, minus these two, but warriors have that crazy damage, shockwave, and more interrupts. Boomkins have fucking good AoE. You got bear form, the tank shit on a battle res. There's always pros and cons, you know. It's not that big of a deal as long as you're a consistent player. Oh, I should update this. I have 73 traits now. Then yeah, that's all good. Yeah, I understand that there's certain class compositions that work better in dungeons, but in the end, you know, having a team, which I never had because I'm not super high ranked, so the thrown together teams are kind of just there to, you know, get your scores slightly higher than pugging with good players. But yeah, that's basically it. You know, each pally or Druid. I noticed that the healers, the monk healers, the priest healers, with now survivability being a problem compared to last season where it was kind of just a hybrid of survivability and damage. Yeah, each pally or Druid, you know. They can still do DPS, you know, on the easier pulls. You know, assisted healer DPS is nice. And then one of these three tanks with blood decays being the priority. You know, 2 to 3 battle reses. So I wouldn't want to do like H Pally and Vengeance DH unless there's a Boomkin. Because 2 battle reses I find is important. I don't like to be the only battle res. Casting Soul Stone is a long cast time. I can die while doing it if I'm standing in a mechanic. You know, it kind of sucks during Volcanic Week. If the volcano comes up while I'm like 2 seconds into the cast, it's a 2.5 second cast. So yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I guess if the arms warrior's prot, he can be a good tank for upper. But it's not necessary. DHs or DKs do fine. Yeah, DHs do have that long silence and shit, and they have leech, but I do prefer the AoE grip. Just keeps things nice and together. And with the rogue tunneling their damage into one target, I mean, I'll still cast UAs into the priority target because, you know, it's a priority target needs to die. But I won't like spam all my UAs and literally let all my fucking agonies drop because if that guy doesn't die, we wipe. You know, I'd still like to be able to keep my agonies up, you know, go back to seeding and just off dot the main target. You know, it's just more damage efficient. Yeah, shit like that. So yeah, if you're just very active and you're kind of in the same boat as me, you can even be lower. Like I can go down to maybe 2200 score. You know, some people, maybe you're like me and you pushed late, like you only started last season. And like for instance, when I only started last season, my Mythic Plus scores weren't that high. So, you know, you didn't get the best groups. Luckily this season I have a decent Mythic Plus score from last season. So even though I didn't push keys for the first few weeks, I was working on gear and artifact power. I was able to get this high, I guess 10 score lower, I guess, because I improved 2 of my scores this week here and here. But what the fuck was I saying? Yeah, it just Mythic Plus, whatever. Fuck. Okay, I'm done with this. So yeah, just message me in game. Here's my Battletag right here. You can read my profile and shit. I have some stuff about the No Bads Guild. You know they have a Hall of Shame and shit. So I made one with him. But on the front, I try to be nice. I'll be like, this is like a roast. I don't hate the guy. He's a chill dude. He's just kind of immature and fail. But yeah. So that was my old guild. What else? That's it. This is the goal. These are the keys that you have to do. This is where I'm at. You know, let's fucking wreck this Mythic Plus shit. Oh, also, before I'm done with this shit, I want to do a lot of Mythic Plus carries for gold. You know, 3-person, but this would have to be on Tyke. So say you like this video, think I'd be chill to Mythic Plus with, and I am, because I'm a fucking chill person. I could even help you out if you're on the like maybe low 2K range. But yeah, we can do carries, do tens, sell to 2 people, go through it, trade gold, make it Tyke only because I don't want to like make her just on another server, get tokens, trade it, do weird shit, like then split it later. Like, no, just give me some fucking gold. Like, let's cut out all the other shit. There's a lot of people on Tyke. It's a pretty popular server, so you can get carries there. I just need 2 active people from Tyke, so that's it. 2 active people from Tyke. Doesn't matter how good you are. If you're on my main team that I'll eventually form, hopefully, then that's a plus, but you don't have to. Any server's fine. But for people that speak English, I'm sure there's some solid Ragnaros people there. I'm sure. That 0.001%. Maybe a couple extra zeros before that one. So, yeah. And I'm sure some of them, can speak English and play fucking World of Warcraft decently, and they're, yeah, sure, why not? There's always exceptions, but most of them are just, probably should just stick to mowing lawns and shit. Alright, until next time, peace out.